In today's tough business environment, companies need to keep profits up and costs down while adapting quickly to change. Rising expenses, shrinking margins, economic ups and downs, and new technology all make controlling costs more important than ever. That's why many organizations use cost reduction programs, which are planned and systematic efforts to find and cut unnecessary expenses without hurting quality or customer value. Unlike quick fixes that just slash budgets across the board, these programs focus on making lasting improvements in how work is done and how resources are used. They aim to lower the overall cost base in a way that can be repeated and sustained over time. Costs in a business usually fall into two main groups: direct costs like materials and labor, and indirect costs like overhead and support functions. This presentation will dive into what cost reduction programs involve, how businesses put them into action, real-world examples, the pros and cons, and tips on achieving sustainable cost efficiency. The image here, showing a figure cutting a line labeled cost reduction, helps illustrate the idea of actively trimming expenses in a careful and deliberate way that adds value for shareholders. Costs in a business can be divided into fixed costs, like rent and depreciation, and variable costs, such as energy and logistics. A good cost reduction program looks at these categories carefully to decide if expenses are necessary or avoidable, if they add value or not, and if they fit with the company's strategic goals. These programs have several practical benefits. First, they improve profitability by boosting operating margins, especially in markets where growing revenue is tough. Second, they make a company more competitive by lowering costs, which can allow for better pricing or more investment in innovation, marketing, or customer service. Third, businesses become more financially resilient because leaner cost structures help them handle economic downturns, demand fluctuations, and price changes. Fourth, the savings free up capital that can be used for growth opportunities or important investments. Finally, such programs often lead to better operational discipline by increasing transparency, accountability, and performance tracking across the organization. An effective cost reduction program starts by setting clear objectives that align with the overall business strategy. This means deciding how much cost reduction is needed, whether the focus is on short-term savings or long-term efficiency, and identifying which strategic areas must be protected or invested in to ensure the program supports, rather than harms, key business priorities. Next, a thorough cost diagnostic helps pinpoint exactly where costs are coming from and why, using tools like cost breakdown analysis, activity-based costing, process mapping, zero-based budgeting, and benchmarking against industry standards. This analysis reveals inefficiencies, duplicated efforts, and spending that doesn't align with goals. Once this baseline is clear, opportunities for cost reduction become apparent, often starting with process optimization. This includes removing activities that don't add value, streamlining workflows to make them more efficient, and reducing errors and rework, all of which contribute to sustainable cost savings. To make cost reduction effective, organizations focus on three main areas. First, they simplify the organizational structure by reducing management layers, clarifying who makes decisions, and optimizing how many people each manager oversees. Then, procurement and supply chain processes are improved by renegotiating with suppliers, consolidating demand to get better volume deals, and using strategic sourcing to find the best options. Technology also plays a key role through automation, digitalization, integrating systems, and using data to support better decisions. Once potential initiatives are identified, it's important to evaluate them carefully, considering their financial benefits, how complex they are to implement, possible risks or disruptions, and whether they fit long-term goals. Typically, initiatives that offer high impact but come with low risk are chosen first to build momentum. Finally, successful implementation needs clear ownership, detailed plans, ongoing communication with everyone involved, and regular tracking to ensure everything stays on course. Change management plays a crucial role in addressing resistance and ensuring that new cost-saving measures are successfully adopted. To maintain these cost reductions over time, it's important to embed new behaviors by updating policies and controls, implementing clear performance measurement systems, reinforcing a culture that supports these changes, and establishing ongoing mechanisms for continuous improvement. For example, a global manufacturing firm cut costs by optimizing production layouts, standardizing components, and renegotiating supplier contracts without compromising quality or output. Similarly, a major retail chain boosted profitability by streamlining product ranges, improving inventory controls, and optimizing logistics to reduce waste and working capital needs. In financial services, Cost savings came from consolidating back-office functions, automating processes, and simplifying IT systems, allowing reinvestment in customer-facing digital initiatives. Public sector and healthcare organizations often focus on procurement efficiency, better resource use, and process standardization to improve service delivery despite budget limits. Across these examples, successful cost reduction programs share common traits, which we'll explore next. Successful cost reduction programs depend on strong executive sponsorship to ensure support at the highest level, along with data-driven analysis that guides decision-making with clear accountability to track progress. Transparent communication is essential to keep everyone informed and engaged, while maintaining a balanced focus on both cost savings and value creation ensures that efforts don't undermine quality or future growth. Continuous monitoring allows the program to adapt as conditions change. The advantages of these programs include an immediate financial impact, helping to improve cash flow and profitability quickly. They also increase competitive flexibility by lowering costs, which provides options for pricing or reinvestment. Improved efficiency is another benefit, as processes become leaner and more disciplined. Additionally, these programs often reveal best practices that contribute to long-term organizational learning. However, it's important to watch for risks like overcutting, which can harm quality, innovation, and employee morale, and a short-term focus that may favor quick wins over sustainable improvements. Balancing these factors carefully is key to maximizing benefits while minimizing risks. Employees often resist changes they see as threats to their job security or working conditions, which can slow down or complicate cost reduction efforts. Additionally, hidden costs like disruptions, retraining, and system adjustments can erode expected savings if not managed carefully. It's important to understand the difference between cost-cutting and cost reduction. Cost-cutting tends to be a short-term, reactive approach focused on eliminating expenses, which can harm value and sustainability. In contrast, cost reduction is strategic, long-term, aims to improve efficiency, preserves value, and is more sustainable over time. Modern cost reduction programs often include digital transformation, data analytics, lean management, and environmental, social, and governance considerations to ensure efficiency gains are responsible and lasting. These programs are essential for boosting profitability, competitiveness, and resilience, especially amid uncertainty. However, success requires balancing cost discipline with value creation and protecting important capabilities, rather than focusing exclusively on short-term financial pressures. To ensure lasting impact, it's important to build cost reduction into the organization's everyday culture and processes. This means not just making cuts when necessary, but developing cost management as a core strategic skill that everyone understands and supports. When companies treat cost reduction as an ongoing capability, rather than a quick fix, they set themselves up for sustained success and greater resilience over time. Embedding these improvements deeply in how the organization operates helps maintain the benefits and supports continuous growth.